Hey everybody, Spider-Man 1991 here, and it wouldn't be a weekend if I didn't do my weekly comic book reviews. Okay, so these are comics released on October 10th, 2012. Alright, let's kick it off with DC, since that's actually the least number of comics as opposed to Marvel. Alright, first of all, last Wednesday was on the CW was the premiere of the new TV show Arrow, which is based off of Green Arrow, and it is no way related to Smallville. Although it's by the same people who did Smallville, but it's completely different. If you haven't seen the pilot yet, stop this video, go to CW.com or somewhere and watch it online, because it is awesome. And also, if you went to your comic book shop this week, you were able to get a free Arrow special, because now they're also going to do a tie-in comic to the series as well. And well, the special edition was released digitally right after Comic-Con, and I think also these specials came out. Also, they released these at Comic-Con last summer. So, you know, if you didn't get it then, or you didn't download the digital version yet, you can get the print version. And I will say this, though, it's not bad. I mean, it does sort of, you know, give you an idea about what this show's about. You know, it's Oliver Queen. He's just gotten back after 5 years lost at sea, so he's now starting to clean up Starling City. Yeah, it's called Starling City in this series, not Star City. And also the print version does feature several sneak preview of Green Arrow number 0. I'd say, you know, get it if you can. I mean, it's free, so you can decide whether or not you want to get it. I'd say if you're going to watch Arrow, you should get it, but if you plan on getting the comic book series, I'm not, but, you know, it's still not a bad freebie. Gives you a sneak preview about what the show's about. Okay, now it's time to talk about some actual comics. Superboy, number 13. Alright, pretty much, this is just a setup for a number of tie-ins that Superboy's going to appear in. First off, it's set with Jocelyn Lure. First off, Jocelyn Lure sort of reveals to Superboy that she's not from around here, so to speak, and also she helps him find Caitlin Fairchild, and leads him to him. Also, before that though, Jimmy Olsen is sent to New York City by Lois Lane, who want on the assignment that they believe there's a Superboy out there, and they want to prove his existence. And later, when Superboy stops a couple of criminals, Jimmy Olsen is able to get a few photographs and send them to Lois, and she does notice that he does look a lot like Superman. So, Superboy's existence is slowly coming to the public. But what I said earlier about the crossovers, basically it's a setup for a crossover that's going to happen in Ravengers, and also a little tease about what's going to happen in the Hell on Earth crossover, which is going to involve all the Superman books, Superman, Superboy, and Supergirl. So that's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, if you're not going to get Hell on Earth, or you're not going to get Ravagers, then I would say skip this. Because really, there's no point. I mean, if you're going to get Hell on Earth, yeah, you could get it, but I'd say I would recommend it, but really there's only like one scene, so it's kind of, if you want to save your money, you don't have to get it. And if you have no interest in reading Ravengers, like me, then I'd say you should skip this. Honestly, I hope things get better after this whole crossover with this whole Hell on Earth crossover with Superboy, because I'm really starting to lose interest in this book. It's not exciting. It's not really exciting anymore. It's just pretty dull, and although it does seem like they are taking it in the direction where Superboy is going to become known to the public, so I am a little curious about that, but there's really not much left in the book yet. Alright, moving on. Green Lantern Corps number 13. The Third Army continues with this issue. Good news though, when I read this, it made no reference at all to Green Lantern 13, so you don't have to get all the Green Lantern series for the Rise of the Third Army story arc. Basically, the Guardians are starting to set Guy Gardner up to be like this big, great Lantern that they're endorsing, like saying, "Oh yeah, Guy Gardner's so awesome. You should all listen to him." But secretly they're going, "Okay, we gotta set him up to look like a big failure. they'll definitely work for our big plan to get all the people of the galaxy to be under our mind control. And the Third Army still continues to assimilate people. I have been reading Green Lantern Corps, so... But I did watch other reviewers talk about it, saying that the Guardians have been starting to endorse Guy Gardner just so that they could mess him up later and make him look like a big failure. I'd say if you're getting Green Lantern Corps, then you should stick with it, because this seems like a very interesting book, and, I kind of want to... Now I sort of feel like I should go back and read the first volume of this series just to give me an idea about what happened. But, it seems like a good series, and I would recommend people stick to it if they're, reading it. Alright, now for the big... Now, this is definitely one of my favorites for this week. Batman number 13. Alright, first of all, let me show you something cool about the cover, though. I left the bag unsealed for this just so I could show you this. Well, it's interesting. They have like this little fold-out thing of the Joker's face that you can pull it off, and look, there's Batman. And also, it's not a full mask, though. See, here's one half of the fold, and here's the other. Just a list of comics and stuff. Now, I have to say, it's kind of sad that they wouldn't make this a full mask, because with Halloween coming up, that would be like a great little sort of thing to do with the comic. Just make it a full mask and and then you could wear it and scare the hell out of the little kids who come to your house looking for candy. Alright, well, Batman 13 was very nice. Joker's back, and this time he's back with a vengeance. I don't really want to get into too much in the plot, because... this is so awesome, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it's very good. And, if you've been wondering whether or not, I don't know, maybe I should get this, get it, okay? It's Batman, it's the Joker, and Scott Snyder is writing it. He has done an amazing job so far. This is definitely going to be one of the most talked about comics, I would say, of 2013. And... Oh yeah, and also I should also mention there's a co-feature in, but I will say this about the issue though, plot-wise, there is a co-feature in here, and it's about Joker's reunion with Harley Quinn, and that's something interesting I think people should read. But yeah, if the Joker, well, let's face it, Joker's probably everyone's favorite villain, so if you love the Joker, pick this up. Okay, moving on to Marvel. First off, from Marvel, I have another freebie. This one is sort of a sneak peek at all the number ones coming out in November. We've got X-Men Legacy, Fantastic Four, FF, Deadpool, Captain America, Thor, Red She-Hulk. Well, that's not a number one, that's a continuation, but still a preview for Red She-Hulk, and Iron Man, and yeah. Oh yeah, and all new X-Men too. So this is just pretty much like a sampler of all the new number ones coming out in November. I'd say get it if you're not sure which number ones you want, which new Marvel number ones you want to get in November, because this can sort of give you like a taste of it, and if it feels right, then give it a try. And besides, this is free, so it's really up to you whether or not you want to get it. Okay, now back to actual comics. Wolverine and the X-Men, number 18. Okay, this is just pretty much a recap of what happened in Avengers vs. X-Men number 11 and 12, but it's from the perspective of what's happening at the Jean Grey School. Also in this issue, it's revealed that one of the students at the Jean Grey School is actually a mole for the Hellfire Kids Club, and later, the Hellfire Kids Club kills another student. And I really hope that those little brats get what's coming to them hard, because I really like the student that they killed. I mean, he was one of the more interesting characters I liked, and they killed him. So I'm kind of hoping, okay, I really hope Wolverine shows up and guts those little punks. Wolverine the X-Men. So overall, Wolverine the X-Men was a very nice read. I'd say if you're reading this and you want to know what was going on at the Jean Grey School during the final battle, then I'd say picking this up. Okay, next up, Captain America number 18. Alright, the New World story arc ends here. Basically, Cap and Falcon and Diamondback and Sharon Carter, they're able to destroy the Mad Bomb and defeat Baron Zemo, Agent Bravo, and Queen Hydra. Queen Hydra winds up in a coma. Zemo and Bravo are in custody, and that's basically it. I did like this series, but the ending here just felt kind of a little dull. I mean, although there was, it just felt really dull reading this. I mean, it felt very, as for an ending, it just kind of felt like it was sped up. Like nothing really changed, I guess. But I'd say if you have read the story arc so far, just get the final issue just to, give you an idea of what happened and stuff. There is one more issue left in this series, which is supposed to be the finale to this Captain America series right before we get into Marvel Now. That, I hope, is a little better than this. Alright, next up, Scarlet Spider, number 10. Minimum Carnage, Part 2. First when Scarlet Spider and Venom start arguing, Venom almost loses it and goes, classic Venom on Kane, but Flash Thompson is able to get some control back, and then eventually after Venom is able to talk to Scarlet Spider and tell him that, Carnage will be back, then they decide to go make a trip to the Microverse to go stop Carnage. But, however, when they transport into the Microverse, something happens and they wind up at two different locations. So they're separate. So they're in a microscopic universe and they're separated from each other. This part of Minimum Carnage wasn't exactly as action-packed, I would say, as the first part in Minimum Carnage Alpha, but it is interesting to see these two, Venom and Scarlet Spider, interact, because they are both, sort of followers of Spider-Man in a way, because Flash Thompson, he's Spider-Man's biggest fan, and the Venom symbiote did briefly bond with Peter Parker, and you know what happened, and Kane is Peter's clone, so, it is something interesting. It's kind of, I feel like this is sort of like Nightwing meets Red Hood, in a way. That's how I can That's basically what I'm trying to say the relationship between Venom and Scarlet Spider is, in a way. Still, if you're reading Minimum Carnage, I would still pick this up, but other than that, if you're not sure whether or not to read Scarlet Spider right now, I would say wait until Minimum Carnage is over, unless you actually want to read it. In which case, yeah, sure, pick it up. But if you are going to read Minimum Carnage, I'd say get Alpha first, then get this. Alright, last comic, and this was definitely my pick of the week from Marvel. Uncanny Avengers number 1. Alright, well, again, I don't want to give too much away about this, but this is very good. I mean, it's a very good opening issue. While true, it does mean, I wouldn't say it's new reader friendly, because you do have to read Avengers vs. X-Men in order to get the idea about what led to this. But it was a very good issue. I mean, it felt very fast-paced. Very nice how Cap tries to talk to Alex Summers, a.k.a. Havoc, to try to get him to lead this new team. And also, we're pretty much introduced to the villain and discover what his plan is right away. So, I think that's great. That's very nice. It was very fast-paced, opened up, and it pretty much got you right to the idea about what's going on and what's going to happen, and who the Uncanny Avengers are going to be fighting. So yeah, I would definitely say if you read Avengers vs. X-Men, pick this up, because it is awesome. And I really have a lot of faith for what's going to happen, and I really can't wait to read the rest of this. It's very good. Okay, well, those are my comic books for this week. Thanks for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Quick recap. Uncanny Avengers number 1, awesome. Scarlet Spider number 10, continuing Minimum Carnage. Not as big as part 1, but still very interesting. Captain America number 18. One issue left. The ending to the New World Star arc was a bit dull. Wolverine the X-Men number 18. Pretty much the events of the Avengers vs. X-Men, told from the perspective of Jean Grey's school and Hellfire Kids Club makes its move. I really hope those kids get it. Freebie from Marvel, previews for the .1's November. Batman number 13, very nice. Joker's back, and he's back with a vengeance. Green Lantern Corps number 13. Third Army continues in this, but you don't need to read it if you're already reading another Green Lantern book. Superboy number 13. Basically set up for a ton of crossovers. And Arrow sneak preview. The preview. If you want to watch the TV show, then I'd say get this just to give you an idea about what it is. Okay, trying to decide these two is a little hard, but I mean, I'd say Comic of the Week for Marvel, Uncanny Avengers number 1, Comic of the Week, Batman 13 for DC. So, but between these two, if you could only get one, I'm going with Batman 13. All right, I know what Scott Snyder's been doing. I know how he handles Batman, and this was definitely something they didn't want to immediately get to. They kind of played it up for a bit in Detective Comics, but this is awesome. I would definitely recommend Batman 13 for Batman 13 Comic of the Week. Uncanny Avengers number 1, close runner-up. Okay, that's it for my comic review. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.